Okay, we can start the class.
Great. How are you today?
Good.
All right, I will go ahead and share my screen with you. Okay. We should see it come up here. All right, here it is. All right, so we finished this chapter, so I will go ahead and get rid of our star. So we now have this cool new gadget that they can use to track something, and they will see it beeping on their watch. All right, this chapter is called A Super Secret. Do you know what a secret is? Do you know what it means to keep a secret?
I know. Just someone tell you and you don't tell anyone.
That's right, right. You're the only one who knows it. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Soon we, now they're starting right here with a pronoun. And remember, an author cannot use a pronoun when they're writing unless they have already told us who it is. So we are the reader, and we need to look at that pronoun and say, who is that talking about? Who is the we in this sentence? To find our clue, we need to go back to the last sentence we read. And the last sentence we read also has the pronoun we, and it has us. We know that it includes Swift Paws, and who else is with him?
Geronimo and Lady
Wonder Whiskers.
Wonder Whiskers.
Okay, so that tells us that the we are those three superheroes. Soon we were exploring Professor Griffmore's house. There were rooms filled snout to tail with what looked like scientific books and math manuals, but we didn't see any diamonds. So I think they found like a library of books in his house. Now I'm going to get my purple highlighter because I see a mouse phrase, which is snout to tail. And they substituted two words in that phrase with a mouse word. Snout would be the nose of a mouse or the nose of a cat, and tail, right, would be from a mouse or even a cat. But in English, I'm thinking about that sentence. There's not very many clues other than it's from something to something. And I think what we would use in English is this. Here it comes. What do you think that would be? From what to what? What would that be? From to Can you read it?
From head to toe.
That's right. So that's a phrase we use in English that means from head to toe, or the other one we would say is from, another one we would say is from top to bottom. Both of those mean the same thing, from head to toe or from top to bottom. So if we're going to search a place and we're going to look all over his house, we want to search it or look through it from top to bottom, from head to toe. That means the whole place. But all they found were books about science and math. Now, there is kind of a hard word here. A manual is a book that explains how to do something. Okay, usually when we buy a new TV or a new computer or a new anything, it comes with something called the owner's manual. Or a new car, it would come with an owner's manual. Owner means the person it belongs to. So if you own something and it belongs to you, then you are the owner. So if your mom has a car, she is the owner of that car. And it comes with a book that explains how to use it. And that is called the owner's manual. So she can open up her book about her car and it will tell her, what does this light mean? And what does this light mean? And what do you do if you see this? And what do you do if you see that? And how do you, what kind of gas should you put in it? And what kind of oil should you get for it? And everything she needs to know about her car will be in this book that comes with the car. And it is for the owner of that car. And it will tell her all about the car. That's called an owner's manual. So a manual would be a book that explains how to use something. And I also wanted to tell you about this word exploring. Exploring comes from, if we get rid of the ing, we have to take the silent e. We have to take the silent e off. So we take the word explore, which is this part right here. And then we add this silent e back onto it. Explore, to explore is to go searching for something, to go looking for something. We might not even know what we're looking for. It's kind of going on an adventure and looking for something. So they don't really know exactly what they're looking for, but they are exploring in his house to see what they can find. But they didn't find any diamonds, we know that. And so Swiftpaws, he says, rats. Remember Swiftpaws said this on the page before, 2 pages before. Where did he say that?
There.
Did I miss it?
Here.
Oh, right here. Right there on the page before, he said rats, because he really thought that he had captured the thief in the net and he'd only captured Lady Wonder Whiskers. So he was like, oh, shucks. Oh, I really thought that I had caught the thief. So now he's like, oh, rats. He didn't get what he was looking for. Okay. So he's whining. Now, whining is when you're complaining. So you're like, oh, are we there yet? Oh, I don't want to do this. Oh, do we have to have this for dinner? Oh, how come I can't watch TV? Oh, that's whining. So it doesn't really sound very good on our ears. It means we're not really happy about some things. We're not really getting what we want. Then I checked the library. Just then I noticed a small green book tucked into one corner of the shelf. Let's see if we can find it. Well, it must be this one right here. I'm not sure if it's down here unless it's this one, but this book right here. Let's see if we can look and see what it says. Oh, it says The Secret Key. The Secret Key. I'm kind of curious what some of these other books say. I'm going to unlock my page and I'm going to turn my page, oh dear, so that I can read what some of these books say. This one says, Left Paw, Right Paw, Understanding Your Brain. This one says, Statistical Ratology. This one is Quadratic Squeakations, that's math. Super Advanced Physics, not for fur brains. Microcircuits for mice. Math for rodents, M equals cheddar cheese squared, science solutions to make you squeak, and 90 math equations to nibble on. Yeah, these are books about math and science for maybe high school or even college. All right, let me relock this. Okay. So let's see, curious, I picked it up. Slam. This is what it means to slam a book, okay? So if I have my book open and I want to slam it, to see my book, I'm going to slam it. You ready?
Yes.
You see that? That's slamming.
Yes.
This is not slamming the book. That's closing the book. Slamming the book is, ready?
Yes.
Like that. So really slamming it shut. Suddenly, the wall of books began moving. What? The wall of books began moving? Before I could squeak, everything went, what do you think this word is?
Dark.
Dark. And I mean super, super dark.
Dark.
Like so dark, I couldn't see my own paw in front of my whiskers, or I couldn't see the hand in front of my face. That's how dark, like black dark. Help! I shrieked. What happened? Looks like this library has a super secret, exclaimed Swift Paws from the other side of the wall. He's now on the other side of the wall. My goodness. I think that the wall just went flip, and maybe they ended up on opposite sides of the wall. Is there any words, before I turn the page, are there any words on this page you want me to explain? Do you know curious?
No.
Curious is a great word. You are a very curious person, and that's a compliment. That's one of the best things about you. Someone who is curious has a lot of questions, and they want a lot of answers. They want to say, why, and what would happen if, and how come, They have a lot of questions. They're curious. Let's see what else we have here. One thing I want to say about this is we do say this a lot in English, but we say, it's so dark I can't see the hand in front of my face, right? They have paw. And
why did it say whiskers?
Well, because a mouse has whiskers, right? And so, you know, these are the whiskers, right? They come out from like a cat has whiskers. I don't know how to draw whiskers.
Mouse didn't have whiskers.
Whiskers? I'm pretty sure. Should we check?
I know he said Lady Wonder whiskers.
Yeah. So actually this, in English, we would say we couldn't see our hand in front of our face. Okay, so help, and then we know shrieked. Shrieked is when we say something like we're screaming it, but we're screaming it in a voice that kind of hurts our ears. So we're not just yelling louder. We're kind of, it's like, ah! You know, it's like, oh. Let's see what else. And exclaimed is a way of talking when we're just saying something. It's another way of saying we just said something. Okay, let's go ahead to the next page. Ooh, yeah, do you see how that, you see here how this bookcase, it looks like, do you see, Archie, this thing right here?
Oh, I see.
I think it's what lets the bookcase turn.
Oh, I know. Like a juke.
Yeah, so it can like swing around. And you see this part right here? I think it's kind of showing how the bookcase can turn. So I think they were on opposite sides of the bookcase for a minute. All right, well, Lady Wonder Whiskers is going to say, good job, Super Stilton, added Lady Wonder Whiskers. You found a secret passage. Have you ever heard of a secret passage or read a story or seen a movie or a TV show where maybe if you're in a house and you move the bookcase out of the way and then there's a doorway and you can climb up kind of these stairs and go find some secret room in the house that no one else knew about? Have you ever seen a show like that?
Yes.
That's called a secret passage. It means that you can't find the door. The door is like hiding. Maybe it's hiding behind a bookcase or behind a picture on the wall, or, you know, the doorway is covered, so it's a secret. But if you find it, if you move the bookcase or you move the picture, And then you're like, oh, here's a door. I never knew there was a door here. And then you kind of crawl in, and then there's like, oh, wow, there's a little hallway here. There's some stairs. There's another room. No one knows about this. That's a secret passage or a secret passageway. Sometimes you might find them in an old house. Let's see here. Now all you have to do, she said, is turn the library around so we can come too. A chill ran down my fur. Now this is an expression in English, and she's using, the author is using the word fur to make it like a mouse. But I'm trying to think how we say that in English. A chill ran down my, I think it's a chill ran down my spine. So I'm going to put the word spine here. So do you know what your spine is?
Yes.
It's it's kind of hard to touch your own spine, but if someone put their finger on the back of your neck and then drew a line down the middle of your back, okay, all the way down your back, and they could feel that bump, 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 that's your spine.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So it starts at your neck and it goes all the way down your back, and it's right down the middle, and that's called your spine. And we have an expression in English that says, a chill ran down my spine. That just means I'm like, woo, right? So I'm kind of nervous and excited and scared and surprised all at the same time. It's like, oh. So let's see. And so Geronimo's like, turn the library, but I don't know how. I tried not to sob uncontrollably. Sob means to cry very loudly, and like the loudest crying you can do, right? It's like, whoa, really loud. Now, I'm a little bit surprised about this sentence because even though Geronimo gets scared a lot, and even though he doesn't know how to use his superpowers very well, and even though he gets distracted by Lady Wonderwhiskers and what's the other girl's name? Petunia or?
No,
I can never remember her name. But now I'm curious what it is. Let's see here.
Petunia.
What is it?
Priscilla.
Oh, right. Priscilla. Right, there she is, Priscilla. Okay. Well, even though he gets distracted easily by Priscilla and Lady Wonderwhiskers, I forgot where I am here. Are we right here? Okay. Oh, right here. And even though he can get scared, I don't really think of Geronimo as a character who's going to start crying really, really, really loud. So I'm a little bit surprised by this sentence. But I do want to talk for just a minute about this really long word. Let's count the letters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's not many words that have 14 letters in them, but I'm going to, are you still there? Can you hear me? Have I lost you? I'm still going to find my different parts. There's 1. Let's see here. Are you there still, Archie? Are you still there? You back? Did you see my pink boxes and my green box?
Yes.
Okay, I want to show you a couple things here. Remember, un is a prefix. We had it yesterday, I think. We also talked about going from happy to unhappy. So do you remember what this prefix means? The un. Do you remember what the un prefix means? Not. It means not. Now, we've also talked about how we can add suffixes at the end of the word to change how we use the word in the sentence, to kind of change what job the word can do. And I have 2 boxes down here. Do you see it?
Yes.
That's because we can change it to uncontrollable and then uncontrollably. So if we got rid here of the, Y, then we could have this word, uncontrollable. Now, if you can control something, that means you can make it do what you want, okay? If you can't control something, then you can't make it do what you want, okay? Have you ever heard of something called self-control?
Yeah.
Teachers like to talk about this, and moms and dads like to talk about this. And we always say to kids, can you please have some self-control? And it means, can you control yourself so that you can make yourself do what we want you to do? So, for example, if we say to our, does your mom ever say to you, Archie, I want you to finish your homework before you play a game on your iPad?
Yes.
And then if you have self-control, then you can first get your homework done. Even though the iPad is sitting right next to you, you can do your homework first and then play a game. But if
My iPad is sitting here.
But if you don't have self-control, then maybe your mom would take the iPad away from you until you finish your homework, and then she would give it back to you. Or like, I like chocolate. So if you put in front of me a big bowl of chocolate, and I don't want to have any because it would just make me be even more fat. So I would have to have a lot of self-control to look at that chocolate and not eat it. Okay. Or if I want one of my students to write a story for me in their best handwriting, which means to write neatly and not just scribble it really fast, they would need to use self-control to slow down and write their letters as neatly as they can. So self-control is when our brain can be in charge of what we are doing to do something the way that we want to do it, okay? If we don't have self-control, then we maybe don't make good choices, or we do things that maybe we shouldn't be doing because we just can't resist that chocolate, or we just can't resist that iPad, or we're just in such a hurry to write that story as fast as we can. So self-control is when we have control of ourselves. So control is when we can be in charge of how something works. Like, do you know what this is?
No.
This is a remote control for the air conditioner. I can use this to control whether the air conditioner is on or off. Okay, there's another one. This is also a remote control. I can use this one to control whether the speaker is on or off. And this is my remote control for the Apple TV, to change the channel or to let it go on and off. So control means we can make something happen the way we want it to. If we put "un" in front of it, then we can't control it. We can't change it. There's nothing we can do about it. It's out of our control. We just have to watch and see, okay? So if something is uncontrollable, that means there's nothing we can do, okay? We can't, like for right now, you are uncontrollable for me, right? I'm not even in the same house as you are. I can't control what you're doing. I can't control whether or not you let me see your beautiful face or not. And we can get rid of this. Whoops. Let me just
Rid of this.
let me get rid of that. Okay.
Let
And
me get rid of that.
We can change uncontrollable to uncontrollably, and it just changes how we can use it in the sentence. So if someone is sobbing uncontrollably, it means they're crying so hard and they can't stop and they can't cry quieter and they can't stop crying. They can't change it, okay? All right, so let's see. Now Swift Paws says to Geronimo, okay, concentrate, hero partner. Oh, so many vocabulary words today. Concentrate means think really hard. Focus on this. You can do it. Don't be thinking about pretty Petunia or what's her name again? I keep calling her Petunia.
No, it's not Petunia, it's Priscilla.
Oh, thank you, Priscilla. Priscilla, Petunia. You know, they start with P and they end with You know, no thinking about Priscilla or Lady Wonder Whiskers or your cheese ice cream cone. Just focus. You can do it. Concentrate. Think really hard. Hero partner, he says. Swift Paws said, encouragingly. Encouragingly means it's when you're saying to someone, now I have really bad Chinese, but have you ever heard someone say jayo, jayo? Did I say that right?
Yes.
How do you say it?
Jayo. Jayo.
Jayo. And doesn't it mean like you can do it?
It is jayo.
Yeah, and what does it mean?
It means you can do it.
Yeah, so you are encouraging that person to believe in themselves, to say, good luck, you can do it, I believe in you, you can do it, go, 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 okay? That's encouraging someone. And Swift Paws is like, you can do this, Geronimo, I believe in you. He says, do you remember what you did before the wall turned? Geronimo, blinked. Well, I picked up a little green book and Lady Wonder Whiskers says, do you remember which book? Lady Wonder Whiskers asked. Remember? I squeaked. How could I forget? I love books. I love biographies. I love mysteries. We get it, Super Stilton. You're a book rat. Okay, we know you love books. Before we turn the page, a biography and a mystery are two kinds of books. Okay, so a biography is when you tell the story of somebody. Okay, so I have a biography right here. Here's one here. This is a book telling the story of someone named Martha Washington. And here's a story.
I know who is Washington.
Yeah, she married George Washington. He was the first president of the United States. And this is the person who founded the American Red Cross. So there's a story of her life. Okay, and here is a story of someone called Louisa May Alcott. She's the one who wrote a very famous book called Little Women. And I got a whole bunch of them here. Let's see. This person, Amelia Earhart, she was the first person to fly an airplane all around
the world.
Yeah. Okay, so
and she was gone.
And so I even have the person that I can't find it here. The person that, here's Helen Keller. Have you heard of her?
Yes.
So these are biographies. These tell the stories of a person's life, okay?
Look, I have this.
Oh, yeah, that's Amelia Earhart, right? So that's her story.
I have more book of the famous person. I have more book for the famous person. I have more books there.
I also have some mysteries. Where do I have a mystery here? Let me see. Well, here's some mysteries that I read when I was a girl. The mystery.
Last time you gave me.
The Mystery of the 99 Steps. The Crooked Banister. The Secret of Redgate Farm. The Hidden Staircase. The Clue of the Black Keys. These are all mysteries. And this is a story when something happens.
This is Geronimo Stilton last time you gave me.
Yeah, that Geronimo Stilton does a lot of mysteries. So it's when something happens, maybe something gets stolen or something gets taken, and we don't know what happened. You're like, who did this? How did this happen? How did they do it? And we have a lot of questions. And so it's a mystery because we don't know. And then the main character is like a detective and looks for clues and does a lot of thinking and finally figures it out. And it's like, oh, I think this was who did it, and this is where they did it, and when they did it, and why they did it, and how they did it. You answer all those questions. So mysteries and biographies are different kinds of books. A mystery is usually fiction. Doesn't have to be, but usually it's fiction or pretend. But a biography is always a true story. It's a nonfiction story. Okay, so pause interrupted. Now, what's the title of that little green book you picked up? But before I could reply, slam, the shelves turned again. All right, well, guess what? They get through. Lundy, let's go, squeaked Lady Wonder Whiskers, pointing a flashlight down a dark hallway. Heromice in action. We can see here they are coming in through the secret passage.
So there's the invisible thief. There.
And do you see him?
Yes.
Well, this it looks to me like it's his secret laboratory, but this is where we have to stop.
And there is a diamond.
Do you see the diamond?
And there. It's a diamond.
At the top? Up
Yes.
here? Aha, the star-studded diamond.
Yes.
All right, well, guess what? This right here is where we're going to stop for today. All right, and I'm going to hit stop share so that I can say so long.
So long, Cheddar Chip.
Bye, Archie.